Hello, everybody. I'm John Denny, and we're back again with another exciting episode of Xacta Tidbits. In this episode, we're going to be walking you through the project personnel step, and we're going to show you the right way to put in your project personnel, and we're also going to cover some of the issues that you may encounter when you're trying to accomplish that process step. So without further ado, let's jump in and learn everything that we can about project personnel.
All right, in this video, we are going to be helping you to fill out the project personnel process step correctly. And we are going to segment out this video into separate sections to show you not only the proper way to fill out project personnel, but also how to access it and some areas of interest that may cause you some issues and how to correct those issues. So we're going to start by simply getting into the project personnel step. This is going to be located in two different areas. This is going to be firstly located in your security categorization process step, and there is the project personnel here. So we can see project personnel is here. This is also located back in your general information step. Remember, your general information step is always open. This task should never be completed. It should always remain open. So this general information step is where we also will have our project personnel. So it doesn't matter where you actually update your project personnel from. So we're going to start by walking you through the processes of the correct way of doing your project personnel. The first thing that you're going to want to do with your project personnel is you're going to want to auto copy from your assigned project users. And what this is going to do is every user that has been assigned to your project, regardless if they're an ISO, ISM, ISI, PM, SCA, assessment engineer, DAO, any of those roles, they will all come over into your project. So we're going to copy those roles over. And we can see here that we have all of the personnel that have been copied over into our project personnel. And we're just going to now fix a few things about these. So we notice that there are multiples of certain roles. So there are multiple ISMs in here, and there's multiple DAOs. When you have multiples of a particular role, what you're going to need to do is, first of all, we're going to sort things by the role so we can absolutely see that there are duplicates in here. The second thing that we're going to do is we are going to choose who is the primary for that role. Now, based on what your system is, every system has a primary assessment engineer, has a primary DAO, and things like that. So we'll start with the assessment engineer, and we're going to assume that Bruce Wayne is our primary assessment engineer. So when we have Bruce Wayne as our primary assessment engineer, we're going to use our action button, edit this personnel, and we are going to set this person as a primary for this role. So down here at the bottom, set as primary for this role. We'll check mark that and click the save button. And now Bruce Wayne is the primary. We can see that that is yes here as the primary. We're going to do the same thing for the DAO. We're going to assume that Luke Skywalker is our primary DAO, and we'll do the same thing here for them. Every role needs to have a primary personnel assigned to it. This is for the purpose of being able to have the signature blocks on the proper documentation. Now, as far as the ISM is concerned, I'm going to list myself as the primary ISM on this project, and I'm going to check mark that as well as the primary individual. That was still Luke Skywalker for that one. I'm going to choose myself this time, so choose myself and set myself as the primary ISM. And we would do the same for the others. The other thing that we want to do here is we want to review and make sure that there is one of each person for the different roles that are in here. So I have assessment engineers, I have DAOs, I have an ISI, I've got ISMs, I've got an ISO, a PM, and a SCA. The one role that is missing from here is the information system owner, and that is a critical personnel that we have to list in here. Your information system owner may or may not have an Xacta IO or Xacta 360 account. And in the case where they may not have an Xacta 360 account, what we can do is manually add in our information system owner. So in order to do that, we're going to click the plus button here, and we're going to manually add in a information system owner. So we'll choose information system owner, and we'll put in the name of the person. So we'll say that this was Legolos, last name is Greenleaf, and that is going to be our ISO, and we'll say that they are civilian personnel. Now, the other things that we always want to make sure are in here for all of our project personnel. At a bare minimum, we do want to make sure that we are listing out what their citizenship is, because that is going to come into play. We don't allow foreign nationals into some systems that are out there. But the other thing that we want to absolutely do is make sure that a valid phone number is listed on here, and that phone number may be should be a high side phone number, so you may want to put this in the secure phone number area here. So we may want to put in there whatever their high side phone number is. So we'll put in a phone number here for their secure phone number, and we should also put in whatever their secure email address is on the high side. So Legolos Greenleaf at highsideemail.com or .mil or .whatever it is. So whatever their high side email is, we definitely want to have that listed on there. But remember, your ISO, that is the only one, so we definitely want to check them as being the primary for that role. Now we are going to review the other personnel in here to make sure. There is the Legolos Greenleaf in there as our ISO, but other people that are in here, we want to make sure that they have that information. And the most important ones to make sure have that information is your ISIs, your ISMs, your ISOs, and your PMs. So all of your site personnel need to have contact information for them on the high side, and it needs to be accurate information for their contact information. So anytime you need to update somebody like Steve Rogers as your ISO, you will just edit that person, and we'll put in here their information, whatever their high side phone number is, and then whatever their email is. If this email here is not their current high side email, then we would put in whatever their high side email should be, and we would update that. If this person is the primary for that role, then we would select that person to be the primary, and we would save that. That is how we update our project personnel. That is the correct way to get your project personnel, to assign them as the primary, and to ensure all of the parts for each project personnel are listed inside there. All right, in this part, we're going to be talking about how to delete project personnel. Any project personnel that has been manually created, which is someone that has a yellow flag next to their name, like Legolas Greenleaf, we manually created them earlier. They have not been assigned from this auto copy assigned project personnel. I could delete them out by going over here using the action toolbar and the action gear icon and selecting delete, and that will remove that personnel from here. And as we can see, that project personnel has been deleted. However, any project personnel that came from assigned users, so long as this box is checked here, you cannot delete the user from here. For example, Barry Allen as the ISM, if I go here to this gear icon and attempt to delete them, I'm going to get the warning as it says this user is assigned to a project. To delete from this list, please uncheck the auto copy feature and delete the user from the account list. Now, there are two problems with this. Number one is if I uncheck this, I'm not going to bring in any other auto copy personnel that may be assigned after the fact to the project. The other part of this is if I do delete this user from here, which I can absolutely do now, we can see that Barry Allen is no longer here after I uncheck this box. That does not mean that the personnel is not assigned to the project anymore. So if I go back over here to my Xacta assigned users, Barry Allen is still an assigned ISM to this project. Now, the only way to remove a project personnel that is an Xacta assigned user is to make sure that your command CISO is aware that this person is no longer part of your project, and have the command CISO send an email to the Xacta front door folks, those are the master administrators for 16th Air Force, and ask them to be removed from that project or all projects that have their name. But that is how we delete a project personnel and how we can get them removed from the list, even if we've auto copied them from here. But remember, again, if they're an assigned user, you have to have your command CISO email the front door to have them removed completely. So we are going to be attaching our supplementary artifacts to our project personnel. Now, according to the AFIC and their current guidance, the following documentation is required to be in there for the project personnel, and that is, if you have privileged users, you must include a privileged user SOP. Also in your project personnel, you must include the ISO/ISM appointment letter, and in your project personnel, you must include an SSO/SSR appointment letter if applicable. So those are the documents required for that. To add an artifact to the project personnel step, we will click on the paperclip artifacts icon here, and we're going to choose the plus button to add our artifact. And we're going to choose what file that we want to load in here, which in this case is going to be our ISO/ISM appointment letter. We can give a description for this. ISO/ISM appointment letter. And we can classify the document as well. Once we have everything set up, we can click Save, and now the ISO/ISM appointment letter has been attached to the project personnel step. And we can see that there's one artifact here, and I can validate that this artifact does exist for this project by going to my Manage Project Artifacts process step here. And here I can see that there is an ISO/ISM appointment letter here, and this has been attached to one item, which in this case, in this link, is the project personnel process step. Now, because I do have a duplicate one in here, I'm going to delete the duplicate out of here, and we're just going to remove the duplicated item. Now I'm left with one ISO/ISM appointment letter, and it is linked to the project personnel step as required by the AFIC policy document. In this part of the video, we are going to be talking about what is the difference between project personnel and Xacta assigned users. Now, where we can see that information is going to be in this general information task again. So we're going to go into the general information task. Remember, this is always open. It should never be closed, never be completed. It will always remain open. So we'll go into general information, and as you can recall, we just did some project personnel where we auto copied from the assigned project users. So where are these assigned project users and who are they? Those are the Xacta assigned users, which is here in step 6. So in step number 6, these are all of the personnel that have been assigned to your project by a master administrator. So those are your folks that are running the Xacta front door for the 16th Air Force and the AFIC. These are the people that are assigned. Each person has their own unique login, and they are assigned as a user depending on what their role is. So myself, I am assigned John Denny against this project as the ISO and the ISM according to what the Xacta front door folks have received from the command CISO. Other folks like your DAOs, your assessment engineers, and your SCAs, those are automatically assigned to a project whenever a project is created. It is still up for us to then take these assigned users that we see here and in the project personnel, do this auto copy from assigned project users, and then make sure that we are identifying who is the primary for each of those roles like we did before. But that's the difference between project personnel and Xacta assigned users. So we're going to be talking about what happens if you accidentally close the general information process step and you need to reopen it again. So I'm going to go into the general information process step and task here, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to close the task and complete it. And what that's going to do is push it over here into the completed area. In the completed area, if I click on general information, if I try to do anything in here, it says this page cannot be edited because the task is in a read-only state, meaning I can no longer edit anything in general information. So in order to bring this back so that it's an active task again, what we need to do for general information is to reactivate the task. So we're going to click on reactivate, and we're going to submit the reactivation for this. And now it appears over here in our active tasks again. When I click on general information, I can go back into my areas like project personnel, and I have full read and write capabilities all over again.
For more great content, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel to get the latest Xacta tidbits.